Hello everyone, my name is Cameron Potts. I am 19 years old. I am a multimedia journalism major and music minor with a concentration in vocal performance here at the timeless Morgan State University. The title of my featured story is When He Walked Out, Surviving Divorce. This is a personal story highlighting the effect of divorce on my family. Sit back and enjoy. I always had the joy of growing up in a home where family structure was there and divorce was never in sight. The regular four-member home, my mom, dad, me, and my sister. Until in January of 2017, it actually happened. I thought about how hard it was on my mom and how much she put into making sure that her and my dad stayed as one. Her marriage and kids were everything to her.
When my husband walked out, I just couldn't believe it. It was very devastating to know that the dynamics of my family would change after, at that point, was 32 years of marriage. And I would never believe that I would be in that position to be standing in the kitchen and he walked out and never returned. That I would now have to go from that point on with just my kids and I to make a life for ourselves. I hadn't really got back to a permanent job. I was working, I had been laid off and he left in the middle of my layoff, but I had a temporary assignment making much less money than I made at my regular job. But in November, I was able to go back to a full-time job, which is my previous job that I had been on that I was laid off from. And that was a blessing in disguise because I didn't know what I was going to do. I had to end up going to food shelters, going to types of places for resources to pay my utility bills, and just had to rely on the systems out here that would help people that were in need of assistance for anything from paying your bills to food and for just survival.
Of course, this has an effect on the children. I sat down with my sister to hear from her on how being quote-unquote daddy's little girl, the divorce and separation from the home has changed her perspective on this.
Thinking back on when my dad left, it still bothers me. It was a devastating day, a devastating time. I've always been daddy's little girl, and so when he left, it's like a part of me kind of left. I always went to him for different issues and problems, and he always had a certain way to say them or how to make me feel better.
She copes with it in a unique way. Music.
I'd rather take my energy and sing like I do all the time. Feel that energy that, I may not be feeling good at the time, but as soon as I start to sing, I feel a lot better. Always grew up around my parents singing. They used to take me to rehearsals with them when they were in groups. And my favorite song when I was a little girl was E-I-E-I-O. And so, different people would always, when they saw me, E-I-E-I-O and on the farm, yeah. They always do that to me. I can't go to him and say, hey, Dad, I met somebody new and what should I do? So now, fast forward now, talking to men has been a lot harder than it was before. Because in the back of my mind, it feels like I get attached to a person and then they leave me just like my father did. When you think of a man to mirror, you think of your father first.
Life will always bring its situations, good and bad. It's what you make out of those times that you learn, grow, build, and so much more.
I'm thankful for the friends that I do have. I'm so grateful for my brother and my mom. They are like my biggest supporters. My biggest supporters, my support system. Especially my brother. He's like my little big brother. So a lot of times I can go to him and tell him stuff. He can come to me. He can tell me stuff. We have like, that open door policy. So I'm grateful.
Thank God there were people and that was in my pathway that just came from out of nowhere, and God, it was like he had a ram in the bush. My main concern was that my kids and I have a place to live and we have an opportunity to survive. And even though he left and it changed the dynamics, that I was determined that I was going to survive, that we were not going to be left destitute.
I can't say that I'll never be in a successful relationship, because with the help of the Lord, anything is possible. Like the words of the song say, the Lord is saying to you, if you would only trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to trust and wait on the Lord and be of good courage. Because I do believe one day my King will come.
Trust me.